going on, guys? It is Wholesumbot back again with another video. Today we're going to be releasing the Akwash A to Z series episode. Let's get right into it. Now to start this off, one thing that I usually cover first is going to be the passives. Now Akwash passives basically allows him to pick up any of the corpses that he throws with his 1 or his 3. And upon picking them up, he'll get 7% of his health back, along with, I want to say 2 to 3% of his mana back. I'm not really too sure. Just know that it's going to regen a pretty good chunk of your mana. So that means if you're throwing down your 1 and your 3, you're going to be getting 21% of your health back, which is very good. Now, on the topic of healing, Opwash's 3 also makes it to where if you hit an enemy god that has healed during the duration of this DOT, you are then going to stun them and do additional damage to them, which is an extremely strong thing to be in his pot. Sorry about that, guys. Sometimes I have a very hard time Englishing. But as I was saying, it's going to give you an extremely competitive advantage against healing gods, especially in duels. Once they get that little stun on them, it will make their lives actual hell. On top of already having that one thing that deters the enemy god from healing, his ultimate also applies stacks of anti-heal as each wraith hits an enemy body. Don't quote me on the actual percentage that it does. Only thing that I know is it is a very good percentage if you can get all the stacks. On top of that, nobody really wants to box Opwash and his ults unless they have a pretty decent amount of magical defense. But for early game, the guy hasn't already built magical prots. No one really wants to box him, to be honest. I wouldn't, even though it doesn't really matter what I want. But one thing that I do want to let you guys know is that when you do shoot your one thing that I did have to learn over the course of playing him for a couple days during duels, yes, I said days, but over playing him for these X amount of days, you're going to learn that you definitely can detonate your 2 before your 1 and your 3 even land. So one thing that I will do, I will shoot my 1 and I'll shoot my 3 before my 1 has even landed and my 3 has just been launched. You launch the detonate timer. What this is going to do, as soon as they land, they will instantly detonate, making it very hard for them to escape. Because I know when you're going against gods like Medusa and she doesn't have that movement speed penalty, it is extremely hard to get her with your detonate. But one very good thing is definitely going to be detonating before the 1 even land. Now, Alquash is an ability heavy god, so one of the main things you're going to want to do is get some cooldown reduction on him. Without cooldown reduction, you're not going to be able to sustain your like DPS compared to most high level DPS gods, or like when I say level I mean tier, but compared to most high tier DPS gods in duels or even conquest when it comes to playing that mid role, you're not going to be able to keep your DPS in comparison to a lot of other gods. So one of the main things you want to do is you're going to want to run some cooldown reduction. Now for me, that started off as a fully upgraded Breastplate of Valor because Scotty does have extremely high DPS. And I was not trying to get absolutely fragged. Like you guys will see in the late game, I did end up getting absolutely fragged by her DPS. But like for early game, I wanted to be able to apply a lot more pressure, so I just went Sands of Time straight into Breastplate of Determination, basically giving me that protection so I can get in there and I can box her pretty confidently. Funny side note, you guys are probably wondering who this Scotty is. If you've been paying attention, I went against her in the last video. Yeah, that's my wife. I accidentally run into her a lot in duels, and it's actually usually kind of funny when we pair up because we're usually on the phone, so when I ban someone, like I remember this one, I was like, I don't want to get countered really hard by a Fenrir player when I'm playing with Opwash. So I'm gonna ban Opwash, right? And then she goes, there's no way. I mean, fuck, not Opwash. I'm banning Fenrir. I was like, I'm gonna ban Fenrir. And she was like, oh my god, this person just banned Fenrir as their last ban. And we knew that we were going against each other. And it was actually pretty funny. But that's besides the point. Anyway, what was I talking about again? Oh yeah. So you definitely don't want to pair yourself up against gods that are going to destroy you. Primarily, the gods that are going to destroy Opwash is going to be Bakasura. Any god with a jump in extreme chase. Any god with a heavy stun. Um, Probably your mom. And any god with any versatility in general will probably stomp Opwash. I mean, he does have a pretty good pick against, I guess, Scotty? Not really, but you can kind of do something if you position yourself right. because she doesn't really have a heavy stun. She just has a little bit of a root. You can avoid that, keep some distance, which she's very good at. You should be able to work your way around a Scotty, but most gods you're probably gonna get mad and you're gonna say something very inappropriate, and you might just get a little bit of a ban, maybe a little report. You know what I'm saying? You might just disconnect your PC or Xbox or PlayStation, whatever you play. I'm not judging. It's 2022. But it's I don't recommend playing him honestly in duels. I mean, if you just loathe yourself and you're into self-loathe and all that, I mean, knock yourself out. But yeah, he's just not that fun of a god. It didn't take me too long to get a couple wins on him, but overall, definitely do not recommend. He's pretty squishy too. He doesn't even have any way of escaping anyone, like at all. Actually, yeah, he's pretty useless. Don't play him, honestly. But aside from that, Opwash actually has pretty good in-game scaling, so you take that high res. There's actually something good about this god, unlike fucking King Arthur, sadly. But Opwash pretty scales amazingly, actually. He'll be able to compete with most of the in-game gods as long as you're very good at positioning. He's a very position-heavy god. Just make sure you don't position yourself in their face unless you're very confident you're going to punch them in their forehead. Otherwise, I'd advise to stay back. But aside from all that, Opwash has a pretty generic mage playstyle. Like, honestly, there's not really anything that interesting about his kit. He's very good at range, has some anti-heal, has decent safety with his ult combined with his clear combo, as long as someone doesn't have, like, quadruple prots. You should be able to pretty much beat them, especially since you already have that natural anti-heal. If you run Divine Ruin, any god that relies heavy on sustain is not coming in. And then on top of that, you're going to get a free stun if it's a certain type of heal. You know, like Hades. Hades comes in, tries to hit you with that wombo combo. You hit him with the bada boom bam with your 3. All of a sudden, he's stuck on the ground and you're punching him in the forehead. Like, come on, guys. It doesn't get any better than that. Give me a fist bump right now. But, like, aside from that, I mean, it's gonna be pretty basic. There's nothing really crazy about this man. He's like, it's not that hard to get a win on him. Like, I'm being honest, but just know you're gonna get absolutely stomped if you're going against anyone with a high mobility. You're literally gonna get stomped so bad. So I definitely pucker up Buttercut because you're probably about to get your shit pushed in. Being honest, but if you enjoy the god, I do entice you. Play the god. Do what makes you happy. You know what I'm saying? Not for me. You know what I'm saying? It was a fun little A to Z episode playing a little bit of Opwash, but next I got a moderate suit, and I am so looking forward to that. I was not looking forward to dying there, but it was a decent trade. And then I'm pretty sure here's where I turned the game around. With that new Aegis that reflects 60% of the damage that you take. I used that so perfectly on this Scotty. It was magnifico. But honestly, yeah, man, there's not really much to talk about with Opwash. It's pretty straightforward. Just watch your positioning. Don't go against Fenrir. The list is pretty. It's not that long. So definitely, if you guys enjoyed the video, if there's anything you guys want me to add, as per usual, let me know in the comments below. You know what I'm saying? Or you can text me on any other of my social platforms. But without further ado, I hope you guys have a great day. Stay positive, stay motivated, stay humble, and peace out.